Hi, I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. In this video I'm showing you my Tiamata team. Tiamata is the latest mythic from the game and the spell is kind of interesting. Deals damage to all enemies, then creates 3 times 4 wild cards. That may sound a little bit random, and indeed it is, but coupled with the right allies in the team, we can actually make pretty decent use out of that, and this team does have actual loop potential and the possibility for Tiamata to cast the spell again and again and again. The traits are Tough Scales, reduce damage from skulls by 30%. Wild Magic, 25% chance to create a ×2 wild card when matching 4 or more gems. And Absorb Spell, gain 10 life when an enemy casts a spell. What's interesting about that last trait is that plus 10 life is gained instantaneously and effectively before the enemy casts their spell. So let's say, for example, you're on 20 life with Tiamata, and somebody is about to cast a spell on you which does 25 damage. Ordinarily that would kill you, but as they activate that spell, you gain that plus 10 life instantly and go up to 30 life, and then have that 25 life taken away, so you would actually survive in that scenario. In this team, we're in the Elementalist class, and we're going to go with Centurion as the main helper regarding the wildcard situation. Centurion has a 10% chance to devour a random enemy and a plus 10 chance for each wildcard. So if there was another 4 wildcards on the board, that 10% chance becomes 50%. Then converts all skulls to ×2 wildcards. So the more skulls on the board at the same time, the more they're going to change to wildcards and charge up the entire team. This can work with Tiamata, who then gets charged up, casts again, and then creates more wildcards. The second trait there, Wild Magic, is shared both by Tiamata and Centurion, but it doesn't mean to say you have a 50% chance to get a ×2 wild card when matching 4 or more gems. It's 2 separate 25% chances. Just want to make that absolutely clear. When experimenting with this team, you may have thought it would have been a good idea to have somebody like Leocorn in it, who creates even more wild cards, but it just didn't work out that way. As soon as this team got frozen or entangled or silenced, it became an absolute pain to use, and we really did need a cleanse. So for that reason, Divinia is in here, explodes all red gems, cleanses all allies and gives them 45 life, as well as having an excellent third trait, which causes a random positive status effect on a random ally on 4 or 5 gem matches. On the hero weapon, I've gone with the Arboreal Crystal. Explodes a load of green gems, then grants a random status effect to all elemental allies, and then summons an elemental. The third trait is the main superb elementalist benefit. Stuns, freezes, burns and entangles a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems. So combined with all our other 4 match benefits, we've got a lot going on when we get a 4 match here. Basically, for every 4 match we get the elemental force, so we stun, freeze, burn and entangle a random enemy. With Tiamata we have a 25% chance to create a ×2 wild card. Centurion, the same thing, and Divinia, we have a random status effect on one of our allies. Every single time we get a 4 match, all those things are going on. So that's a lot of benefits to the 4 matches, so we'll be getting the 4 matches whenever we can, unless there's a load of wild cards left behind where we would be better off casting either Tiamata or Centurion. And I'll try and show the best time when to cast either one or the other in this team. On the champion talents kind of things, I've gone for Snap Freeze, Insulated, Thunder Fist, Watery Binding, Rock Solid, Lightning Strike and Fortitude. And the banner is just +2 red because we do use every single colour in this team combined throughout. So let's take this team for a spin in P... Oh yeah, 45 quid for Orb of Power, yeah, do one. I was actually intrigued to go through the entire month of all these in quotes offers and see how much money they were trying to get us to spend just in December alone, because a few days ago they were offering a Neuscher medal, I think it was, for £45 as well, and it's like, wow, it's going to be hundreds they want to just spend just in December alone. So yeah, I don't mind that popping up once, you know, when I turn the game on, for example, but that's come up now 3 or 4 times in the last like half an hour playing this game, and I think that's when it starts to get a little bit annoying and in your face, and that should be put a stop to myself. Them sort of things should be able to come up once and then not be able to keep on just coming up again every 20 minutes. There it is, like buy this, buy this, buy this. Just getting a little bit needy, the devs like that, like keeping on chucking these so-called offers in your face of spend more money, and it's getting a bit much. Anyway, back to this team, not a moan about the devs' constant need for money. Right, so we're up against a enraged Kurandara team where they're going to cast Leprechaun and try and charge up them and annihilate us. But we'll see if we can put a stop to that. No initial 4 matches straight away, but we can get brown and green there by doing that, which has got Centurion charged. This is always worth casting, even though we haven't got any wild cards there. We've got 10% chance of a devour, and we've created all those wild cards, which is now charged up Tiamata. We'll collect this 4 match here because we get all those benefits mentioned earlier. I think everybody must be immune to everything because nobody's been frozen there at all. No, it's just the first 2, but obviously what happens is if, for example, the game goes to cast the freeze, entangle, etc. on in this case these first 2, that's not going to apply. So it didn't work in that case. So we can now cast Tiamata. Didn't quite get an extra turn out of that, but we now have got Divinia charged, so it's now important to cast her to get the cleanse on Tiamata. Tiamata is ready to go again. But all those skulls now converting to wild cards, even though we're charged up, we can get a lot of benefit from this, so we'll do that. And that's got everybody charged up. Grab these 4 matches because we've got a barrier now on the first troop, which is handy. This is the kind of thing we're looking for because when enraged Kurandara goes all enraged and mental, then we're going to need some saving. And we got saved, so we'll now cast Centurion again. That's charged up Tiamata again. We are stunned at the moment on Tiamata, but I'm not too concerned about that. That's a good thing about Divinia. All the life that she gives can be an absolute saviour. And now with all these skulls, that was a little bit lucky on our part, to be honest. But now when we convert all those to times 2 wild cards, we're going to gain an absolute ton of everything. And that has recharged Tiamata again. Didn't get a double loop that time. But now this has a very high chance of 4 match. Because all the skulls convert to a wild card, you see, at the end of the spell from Centurion. Now we can finish them off. And all our health was nice. We were all in the 100s and 200s still, so we won that game quite comfortably. I'll just run it by another team. The Zulgoth team this time. Got a nice 4 match here on blue at the bottom. And pick up another one along the way. So we've already got like 2 of them lot entangled and frozen, which is nice. And Tiamata is already charged. No wild cards there right now, so only a small chance of getting recharged, but she did get recharged. I say she. I'm not sure why I call it a she. It's because I think, if you remember an old cartoon called Dungeons and Dragons, it was around in the late 80s, early 90s, I think. There was a dragon in that called Tiamat, which was Venger's arch enemy, and I'm sure that was a female dragon, and that's why I keep on referring to Tiamata as a she, because that is clearly a homage to that Dungeons and Dragons cartoon series. Right, now we will cast Tiamat again, and we did get an extra turn. Not an extra turn, sorry, we've got charged up again, but not an extra turn. But yeah, we've got an extra turn that time, and now this team is looping by itself. Didn't work out that time. But now we can cast Centurion, get a bunch of mana back, and cast Tiamat again, and annihilate the team easily. So, initially you think Tiamat isn't that great, But when combined with Centurion, I think it is pretty great, to be honest. Oh, I can't resist this. Let's put it up against Arc Proxy Avendra. Oh, and Zulgoth. Wow. Come on in. Bring it on. Let's see how it does here. See, now we've got changed tactics slightly because we are entangled on the first troop. Even though we don't worry about skull damage too much in this team, it's still nice to actually be cleansed. So we'll be looking to get a cleanse going with Divinia fairly quickly, if we can. Wouldn't mind brown really for Centurion, but no real option on that. So for that reason, I'll grab red. I'll take yellow here because that's going to drop those two red down onto the red below it. Right, now let's go. Yeah, let's go Tiamat first. Tiamata even. Now Centurion. That's got the extra turn and charged up Tiamata again, and we have these 4 matches. Check around for any other 4 matches quickly first. We've got a one here. See, you can leave that there now, because with Centurion, that Devour chance now becomes 30%, because there's 2 wild cards there, and they're worth 10% each. 10% chance to devour a random enemy, plus 10% for each wild card. So that is better, but it is also in the benefit to cast it with Tiamat as well, because the more wild cards that are there, when you create more wild cards, you obviously create even more chance of getting an extra turn. And the reason why I'm taking these extra turns now, even though I've got everybody charged up, is because we're getting all these benefits. We're getting the cause a random positive status effect on a random ally on 4 or 5 gem matches. We got 25% chance to create a wild card on Centurion and Tiamata, as well as the Elemental Force, a 3rd trait as well. So now, apart from Zulgoth, who is impervious, everybody else is completely locked up, which is nice. With all these skulls, that's where it's good normally to cast Centurion, but we don't actually need the mana right now, so we'll cast Tiamata. It didn't quite work out, but we'll now cast Centurion. Because when they're entangled anyway, they're not going to be doing skull damage to you, so it's quite safe to create a load of skulls when the first couple of troops are entangled. Now we'll do Tiamata again. Zulgoth is submerged right now, so he's avoiding that damage, which is annoying, but we'll get him in the end, don't worry about that. Do that to get the extra status effect. And the plain old skull damage there. Now this will create a load of mana for Tiamata. Tiamata will now wipe out another opponent, and Zulgoth is next in line for the beat-ins. He's still submerged, which is annoying. I'm going to cast... No, shall I cast? I'm going to cast... Alright, let's take him out and leave Zulgoth on his own. May get some random skull hits on the way. Alright, let's just do the skull damage for the minute. Now we're about to lose somebody because we can't avoid that, so we may as well just see what happens with casting Centurion, and that worked out pretty good. We've got another skull hit there with an extra turn. With those skulls there, we've got a reasonable chance of an extra turn because we've got the wild cards there as well. And that did give us an extra turn. We'll collect that blue. See, for a what essentially shouldn't be a looping team, this is looping actually quite well. He's down to 117 now. Can we wipe him out before he gets a chance to cast? Let's cast Centurion again, see if we get any lucky skull hits. We did, and we just need one more hit, because that still won't hit. Even though he's on his own, he's submerged, that still will not hit. That is the advantage of submerge. Come on, Centurion, just one skull hit, one something hit, and we can do him without him getting to cast, which is nice. Nope, he's going to take someone out, but hey ho. He's going to lose in the end, and we can cast our Arbora Crystal and finish with a full roster of troops because we got the summon. Well, that's the team. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, then great. Thanks for watching. See you again next time. Bye for now.